start the car in the usual way. Okay, so coming out of here, tell me what hazards there are in a situation like this. What do you think it'll be important to indicate? And why is that? What would be the dangers of not indicating? Okay, so tell me which way you're going to be looking. Why is it important that we look where we're looking before we go? Okay, so at the end of the road, I just want you to follow the road round to the left, please. Do you think we have to signal here? Do you think we could have gone then? Will you go now? I won't go now because although that car was quite a long way away, he's going pretty damn fast. He's going faster than 30 miles an hour. I just had to say that. Okay, so do you think you'll be able to go after this white van? No. It's quite a busy road at the moment, and just checking, just where do you need to be looking every now and again? What can you anticipate is going to happen? Now we've got another car behind us, so we've got to wait there again. Excuse my language, but it's quite busy here now. So the car's slowing down. Somebody may let us go. We're going to go because we can. Just checking those lights are green. Got the roundabout. I'd like you to take the last exit, turning back on yourself, please. Good. So you signalled there at the right time. Basically, as soon as I gave my command, because that was when we had to go. So where will you look before you start to move off? Where's the most important place to look? Tell me two important places to look on this roundabout. What could happen here? Okay, so tell me what that pedestrian may do. Tell me where you must look before you need to come off the roundabout. Two places. Okay, so at the next big major roundabout, we're going to be taking the 3rd exit, follow the signs to Portsmouth. So I want you to tell me what lane do you think would be the most suitable lane to be in. Now the road markings have worn down a bit, and tell me when you think you will indicate and your actions and where you're looking. I can see you're looking in the right place, good. So we didn't have to slow down, did we? Didn't have to change gear, so tell me where you should be looking here. Good, well done, in that right blind spot, because there could be someone, and you signalled at the right time, making sure what could happen with those cars to the left, either deliberately or intentionally. They're going quite a speed, aren't they? So looking well ahead, tell me the situation that you can see. What can we anticipate is going to be happening here? Okay, so I've noticed that you popped it. Okay, so tell me where you're going to be looking before you move off. Good. I can see that you did. You checked all 3 mirrors. So looking ahead, what scenario have we got up ahead? If you wanted to come over to the right-hand lane, could you come over to the right-hand lane now? Yes, you could. Good, so you did the right sequence, because it's quite a dangerous manoeuvre that, isn't it? So we're going to go right at these lights. What could you anticipate happening with these lights, especially because of the gap between us and there they happen? So it's important, because the sensors in the road haven't seen us yet, they could always change. They're always waiting to change, especially these busy traffic light junctions. They're always waiting to change. As soon as they sense a gap in the traffic, they're going to change. So at these traffic lights, what's the sequence going to be before we're ready to go again. So we've got the traffic to the right going first, then we're going to get the traffic to the left. Then, because we're in the filter lane cutting across, we may go before or we may go after the traffic, oncoming traffic. I anticipate that we're going to be going after, because the oncoming traffic was waiting when we were still green in our filter lane. So I anticipate we're going to be not 1, 2, 3, 4. We could actually be 4 sequences away from actually going. So we could be here for a little while. So it's always important we keep both hands on the wheel, which you're doing. Good, well done. What other places could you be looking whilst waiting for the lights to change? Good, so that's right. Seeing if anyone's coming up either. What would you be looking for in your left mirror? What would you be looking for in your right mirror? Say a motorcyclist did come up in your right mirror and he came up right along beside you. Who do you think would go first when the lights did change to green? Who would you let go first? Would you go first, or would you let the motorcyclist go first? If we had a pedestrian that was walking across in front of us now, because this is a pedestrian controlled crossing as well, and they were walking across in front of you, do you think we should carry on, or do you think we should wait for them to cross, even if our lights are green? So we can see now we've got the oncoming traffic and the filter lane from the other side is going, so I anticipate we're going to go next. So we can see the filter lane's finished, but there's quite a lot of oncoming traffic. So again, those sensors in the road, they'll be looking for a gap in the traffic, and that's that gap we can be looking for as well. As soon as that gap may appear, like for instance there, between the horses, the lights may change back now, they haven't, okay, so we just hold it on the lights again for a second. We've got the straight ahead lights carrying on, but our filter traffic light hasn't changed yet, so we mustn't turn yet. So again, looking at the oncoming traffic, we're waiting for that gap, because when that gap appears, then the sensors are going to change the lights for us. If after a while they don't change, because it's very heavy traffic, they may change on their own. But we can prepare ourselves as soon as we see the traffic start to stop in the oncoming lane, and that can give us a couple more seconds until our amber light comes on. So you can see the traffic. Could you anticipate they're going to change in a moment? So I see you're preparing yourself. You've brought the car up to clutch. Well done. See the cars are still moving, but there's another gap as well. So we could anticipate. Do you think the lights may change in a minute? They might do. Okay, so pop the clutch down then. They haven't changed, have they? Why is it important we don't hold the car on the clutch too long? So looking on the oncoming traffic now, can you see a big gap? So good, so we can see that it's changed now. So where will you check before you start to go, and will you let that pedestrian cross the road? Good, well done. So looking down this road, what are the possible hazards of having a queue of traffic? Good, and you checked your mirrors as you head on the road. Good. What's the possible hazards of having traffic on your right hand side? So we've got an example of it here with the motorcyclist, and also ahead. Tell me what hazards you can see, especially with this oncoming cyclist, and also will we be able to get through? Well done. So I noticed you checked your correct. Good, well done. Okay, so at the roundabout we're going to carry straight on ahead, second exit. So on the approaching cyclist, is there enough space for us to get through? Do you feel happy there's enough space for us to get through? We're carrying straight on over the roundabout. What hazards could you anticipate, and how will you deal with them? Good, well done. So that cyclist may come straight over. He has. It's important we look out for those indicators. We importantly look out for these pedestrians in case they start to cross. They haven't, so we keep going. But we've got pedestrians in front of us. They're in the road, so we're going to have to give way to them. I'm carrying an angel. Also got an oncoming car, so we just check our centre mirror, see who's behind us, pop the handbrake on there. So I'm starting to describe again, so I'm just going to wait for a few moments. Because we've got the car now approaching behind us, I'm going to prepare to go. So I'm going to check our middle and left. We've got a cyclist in our left mirror, but he's going to hold off until we move, because he can. And move off. Now the car ahead has given way to us. We have priority, but of course we must make sure that. So who has priority? Questions, questions, Kevin. Questions, questions. So So at the junction, I want you to follow the road ahead, turning right, please. Tell me how you can recognise the approaching junction, and do you think this car is giving way to us? Do you think the car behind will give way to us as well? So I was a bit late there with the signal. I know we've got the road on the end there, but that's obviously very close, but it's important that we signal in good time. So you've secured the car, well done. So what gap are you looking for in the traffic, and when do you think it's going to be safe to go? I want you to tell me when you think it's safe to go. So how can you judge that it's safe to cross the oncoming traffic, and what other hazards have we got in front of us that could be a danger to us? And if that guy is crossing as we're prepared to move out, where should we wait? Okay, so anyone behind us? Could be someone getting impatient, could be a motorcyclist, is what we're looking for. So we're still looking for that gap in the traffic. We can't see it yet, so tell me how you judge that it's safe to come across into the new road. So after this red car, do you think it's safe? Would you walk across after this red car? Okay, so if you would walk across, then we can drive across. Make sure we look to the right again. We've got a guy on a motorcycle there as well, so we just make sure he's crossed before we come out to the road. Good, and then we just see who's behind us before we... So why would you see behind you before you accelerate? So this cyclist here, do you think he's a problem? So looking ahead, we saw the pedestrians on the side of the road. Does anything look like they may want to cross the road? And if they did, what would you do? So at the one-way system, I'm just going to follow the road around to the left. And I'm going to stay in the left lane and continue following the road around to the left. So looking ahead, what could affect our driving towards these pedestrians? Why is it important that we keep a slow speed, no more than 20 miles an hour as we go around this bend here? Okay, so looking at what can you anticipate happening with these lights because the lady's pressing the button? Good. Well done. Yeah, it's important we prepare. What would you do? What could you anticipate? And what will you do to react? What would you do to prepare yourself in case the lights? And what would you do in order to? And how would you react? And how do you react? Tell me where you're going to position yourself if we have to stop. Will you let this car go here? Is he indicating to come out? He isn't indicating, but he does want to come out, doesn't he? So we're going to follow the road round to the right. Tell me, and tell me, we're going to follow the road sign. So if you don't have to, you were lucky then. You were lucky then. What dangers do we have with this traffic on the right, on the left here? Okay, we're going to follow the road round to the right. Tell me where you're going to stop if you have to stop, and tell me where you're allowed to stop if you have to stop. Good, that's okay. Those yellow hatch lines markings mean in the road there. Okay, so should we have given way to him? No, he has to give way to us, but of course we can never take priority. So these girls here, don't slow down because it's important that we carry on going. Now we're to look ahead as we're travelling ahead. Tell me why it's important we need to check that left mirror before as we cut across the lanes. Tell me what you'll do if you